Hi everyone, I am Paul Baker. I am the CEO for the Greater Idaho Falls Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here with Stephanie Taylor-Thompson, who is running for City Council here in Idaho Falls. Thank you so very much for being here today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
I've been talking with everybody that's kind of been running for City Council, and as well as the mayors, and it's been a real fascinating experience for me to kind of get to know everybody. But let's just start with the obvious question: is why you decided to run for City Council?
I love this city. I'm born and raised here. My family is born and raised here. I have served this community for numerous years in many capacities, nonprofit work, um, just any opportunity really that I can. And over the summer, I saw um, an issue that became apparent to me that I really just wanted to see more awareness for. I do a lot of work across the country and for anti-human trafficking, helping survivors of human trafficking. And there was a survivor here that I worked with. I was contacted by the Crisis Center, um, such an amazing resource that we have in our community, but they had contacted me about this survivor, and when I went to go meet with this survivor, it was just glaringly apparent to me that we're lacking some resources in this community, and areas that we do have resources, such as our police department, they're not properly supported to the point where they can, excuse me, um, effectively tackle this issue. So this survivor really motivated me to run. We talked a lot, and she had asked me, what can be done differently in Idaho Falls to make sure that this isn't happening. And I am firmly a person that believes if there's an issue, that those that are closest to the problem are closest to the solution. And as a survivor of human trafficking myself, I just thought, you know what, maybe this is something that I need to take on and bring more awareness to and help find a solution.
I really appreciate that. Um, how much of a issue or problem is it? Because I guess like a lot of people may not be really aware about some of those issues that kind of surround the city. It'd be great to kind of just get a better understanding. Because this is the first I've kind of heard of this issue. Obviously, you hear about crime rates, and I hear about the work that the police department does do, and know that they're limited in their resource as well. But it'd be great just to kind of share a little bit about kind of what you've learned over the last few years in terms of what's happening here in the city.
Yeah, human trafficking is here, and it has been here for many years. I was introduced to my trafficker as a teenager. Again, I'm born and raised here in Idaho Falls, and we live in a wonderful city. I never ever want to be somebody that paints this picture like we live in a dangerous community. I don't feel that we do. We have a wonderful police department that works very hard to ensure that we are safe and that we're protected. But we do have a human trafficking issue here, and it's been going on. It is primarily fueled by drugs in this community. This particular survivor that I was helping with, that was very much how she got involved with it, and the same for me too. I became addicted at a very young age, introduced to drugs by my trafficker, and that is unfortunately what fuels so much of it in our community. There are unfortunately hotels in our community where trafficking is happening, and I really feel like more could be done to ensure that not only are these places being held accountable for it, but we are taking a front end and back end approach to it, to where we're making sure that this isn't happening, and that those that are being victimized, these survivors, that they're able to get the support that they need. We have many resources that want to help The Center for Hope is absolutely phenomenal. Our crisis center and our police department wants to help too. I believe that if they had more resources available to them, if they were able to, be better staffed, then this is something that they could take a head-on approach to.
Well, I appreciate your being willing to share your knowledge and experience and kind of what you've seen and help make people a bit more aware. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So
And I have permission to share about her too. She actually requested that I do so. I would love afterwards to just privately share a message from her to you so that you can see what's going on, and it is all about awareness. Just like you didn't know, there's so many people in our community that don't know that we have human trafficking going on here, and what does that look like?
Right.
A lot of people, when they think of human trafficking, they automatically think of sex trafficking.
Right.
And yes, that is most certainly a part of human trafficking, but there's other areas too.
So, talking about resources and helping the police department and others in the community that need the help and support, obviously that kind of stems back all the way back to the budget of the city. Have you given some consideration to how the budget works, how you might be able to look at finding some room in the budget to give, and provide the resources that we need here in the city to address some of these issues?
Yeah, there's definitely a strategic approach that needs to be taken towards our budget, and before we go in and just start cutting things, taking a knee-jerk reaction to our approach, really taking a holistic approach to it and looking at where are we spending too much at, where can we tighten up a little bit. I really believe that our first responders need to be more funded. I am a strong supporter of our first responders, and I've visited with them. I'm endorsed by our firefighters and our Idaho Falls Fraternal Order of Police, and I've heard from both of them, just where they could have more resources to tackle some of these issues like human trafficking. So just really taking, that SWOT analysis to our budget and seeing where is there some flexibility and where do we need to look at, just tightening up some.
Yeah. And so I guess we could kind of get your thoughts on the relationship that exists between the city council and the mayor. So this time around, there definitely will be a new mayor. What's your kind of hopes, expectations, if you're successful to win the council seat, as to how the relationship should work between you as a city councilwoman and the mayor?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, whoever becomes mayor, I will work with them, and I will work with them as a servant leader and as someone who collaborates with them and has a transparent working relationship with them. My role as a city council member is to serve the residents of Idaho Falls, and also, serve with the mayor, not serve the mayor. So my role is to serve the residents of Idaho Falls and bring their, it's their feedback, their issues that they're seeing, what things that they would like to be changed, making sure that everybody has a voice at the table too, and then taking that to the mayor and working with them collaboratively on a solutions-driven approach.
Yeah, it's great. I guess the other thing that's a big topic also is growth. A lot of people are concerned about the direction we're going in and how we're managing growth. I'd love to get your thoughts on what you're seeing and what you're thinking as to what could be the best way to manage it.
Yeah, we're definitely going through some growing pains. Again, I'm born and raised here. I've seen Idaho Falls from 40 something years ago to where we're at now. And I'm grateful for where our city is at now. We've seen some incredible change in our community that's needed to happen. And growth can be concerning. I think if we're taking a proactive approach to it rather than a reactive approach to it, that serves our community well. Throughout this election, I have really heard from a lot of residents that they don't feel like they're being heard. So just ensuring that everybody has a voice at the table, taking a town hall approach to this, ensuring everybody has an opportunity to voice their concerns, making sure everybody is heard so that we are taking that proactive approach to growth.
Are there anything in particular you'd like to see in the city that we don't currently have that might be able to address some of our growth challenges and growing pains?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a person that is deeply passionate about workforce and workforce development, so just seeing that we have a stronger emphasis on that, and our public transportation. I know housing is a challenge. I have lost count of how many people have contacted me. I mean, just this month alone, by people who are struggling with homelessness. Some of the stories are really, really heartbreaking. And so, I mean, just ensuring we have a more collaborative relationship with people, organizations that are doing really, really great work, like Habitat for Humanity, the Idaho Falls Rescue Mission, just seeing what we can do to tackle these issues, and again, taking that proactive approach to it, and really making sure that everybody is heard, that all residents are being served.
And we would love to also be a part of that solution too, you know.
Yeah.
So the Chamber of Commerce has for many years taken that approach and tried to be an advocate for these great, you know, organizations such as the Rescue Mission and Habitat for Humanity. And we were actually really blessed to have a great community with so many fantastic nonprofits. And I don't think they get the spotlight that they need to kind of share some of the wonderful things they're doing in our community. What would you say to that? I think, you know, you kind of experienced and engaged with some of these nonprofits. Are there any ones in particular that kind of jump to mind that you think would deserve a little bit more support and a bit of a spotlight on the work they do?
Yeah, well, first of all, I love the Chamber of Commerce. I support chambers. A couple of years ago, I was so incredibly, I just had an immense privilege to be able to speak in the U.S. Chamber, U.S. Chamber of Commerce.
That's awesome.
Talking about workforce readiness and development, and some of the untapped talent pools that are throughout the country. So some of the nonprofits in our community that I think are doing there's so many of them. We have so many that are serving this community so wonderfully, and they do it because they absolutely love Idaho Falls and their heart is in service. They believe in their mission and vision, and they believe in the mission and vision of Idaho Falls. The Center for Hope is, if you have been there?
Yeah.
They are wonderful. And of course, the Idaho Falls Rescue Mission, Habitat for Humanity, those that are nonprofits that are focusing on domestic violence, our crisis center, community food basket. There's so many of them. I know I'm missing a ton, but
it's probably an unfair question to ask.
There's so many, and I mean, really, just my sincere gratitude to them. And as a council member, that's something that I would really like to see, is that these nonprofits that are doing so much great work and have really boots on the ground, hands-on approach with residents in Idaho Falls, that they really have a strong voice.
One of the I guess one of the reasons that I love Idaho Falls is that sense of community that we have here. And I am not from here, and lots of people know that. I guess, what would your message be to those who have recently moved here and those who've been here a long time, as to how do we manage growth in such a way that we don't lose that sense of community?
Yeah, I warmly welcome people that are coming here. I know that they're driven to come here because Idaho Falls is a wonderful community. We have so many great attributes to this community. I think that we can continue with that growth and embracing people that are coming in. Having others come in from different parts, even outside of the country, it brings brings diversity, and that's only opportunity for us to learn and to grow. So just, learning from them, embracing, hey, tell us about what you had in your community that worked. What didn't work?
Yeah.
Are there things that worked there that we could implement here, or some challenges that you saw that you're seeing here and maybe we could work together and address?
Yeah. I tell you something, it took me about a year for me to go inside the Celt,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm from Ireland, right? So I was always very apprehensive about it. I went in there and I was so well surprised and pleased to have something that is a little nod to my culture,
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of amazing to have a little nod to the place I come from, and it's a little home from home for me. Occasionally I go in there for food, and it kind of is nostalgic, for me to go there. It's just kind of interesting that we have an Irish bar restaurant. There's several Indian restaurants. There's Chinese, obviously. There's Mexican. There's such a mix of wonderful things that folks can do if they're a little homesick, maybe. It's kind of really cool if you think about
Yeah.
it.
I love that, and I think that's what growth brings in. It brings in
Mhm.
that diversity, and
Yeah.
it brings in business too.
Mhm.
These restaurants downtown,
Yeah.
man, our downtown is so wonderful
Yeah.
now.
It is.
It is such a fun place to go to,
Yeah.
and that growth and diversity brings in opportunities
Mhm.
for those different restaurants and businesses to come in,
Yeah.
where maybe those that are feeling a little homesick can go and
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I couldn't get over they had the rugby on the TV there last week. I was in there having some dinner and they had the rugby on, which I don't really get to see that very much, but it was really great. It's just the little things. And then I was at the Himalayan Flavor, which is really awesome. It's a really
Mhm.
awesome restaurant, and the folks there are fantastic. And so again, grown up most of my life as well in the UK. It's a huge Indian population. That the food there is awesome. The food at the Himalayan Flavor is awesome. It's so much like what you get, So
Yeah.
for a little town like Idaho Falls to have that and got speakeasies and
Mhm.
so much, it's just fantastic, So anyway, I love it, and I can feel that you do too, and it's fantastic that you've grown up here and seen the city evolve over time.
Mhm.
Is there anything that you would like to kind of say to folks watching that you perhaps haven't had the opportunity to at the forums? Because I know that you usually only get like a very short window to kind of answer questions, and some of those questions are very deep. There's layers of
Yeah.
things. Is there anything that has come up that you kind of felt you haven't had the opportunity to really dive into or address?
Yeah, that's it. On those forums, you've got that red light, yellow light, and green light that you're looking at. And sometimes you can get so focused on that. So I will never pretend like I'm a subject matter expert in areas. They're the areas that I'm not. There are
Right.
areas where I am learning and I'm growing in. And what I always do is I will bring others to the table. I'm a lifelong learner, and that's something that I will do as a council member. Is if there are areas that I'm not familiar with, I'm going to reach out to the residents because they are the subject matter experts in this. They're the ones experiencing it, and reach out to those that are doing the work, that can educate me. I am a devout servant leader. I believe in putting people first, and that's what I plan to do as a council member too. I love this city, and I want to ensure that everybody feels like they're cared about, and everybody feels like that they're being advocated for. If people have a voice,
Yeah.
they just need the mic passed to
Right.
them.
Yeah. Well, I truly appreciate you taking the time to come and sit with me today, and wish you all the best on your campaign trail. So for folks watching, November 4th is fast approaching. Please make sure you can get out and vote. And again, thank you to Stephanie for being here today. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.
Yeah.